Simply, we must change our thoughts if we feel stuck. Welcome to the Midlife Reinvention podcast, a podcast helping women in career and life transitions achieve clarity on their next steps so they can transform uncertainty into an energizing next chapter. I'm your host, Kavita Ahuja, and the founder of It's My Time Now Coaching. If you're wondering what's next in your career or life, you are in the right place. Through solo and guest episodes, you'll gain practical tips, tools, and inspiration to help you uncover blocks, gain confidence, and be, do, and have what you want. I rediscovered myself after the age of 50, and I know you can too. It's my time now to help you do just that. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. Before we begin today's episode, I'm pleased to announce that I have been nominated for the Women in Podcasting Awards. I'm so pleased for this, and I'd love for you to vote for this podcast. Please go to womeninpodcasting.net, and under the Over 50 category, you can vote for the Midlife Reinvention podcast. Please vote today. I really appreciate your continued support and encouragement for this podcast. Now, let's get to this episode. Are you feeling stuck and unmotivated in your career or life right now? You're not alone. Why does this happen, and how can you break free from it? If you've ever found yourself in a rut, blaming your job or relationships or situations, this episode is for you. Discover why you are feeling stuck often comes from within, and learn how to shift your mindset to regain your motivation. In this episode, you will understand the real reason behind why you're feeling stuck and how to change it. Learn how changing your thoughts can create new opportunities, and discover practical steps to taking action and creating positive momentum forward. If you're ready to get unstuck, listen to this episode and start feeling motivated to take action now. Welcome to another episode of the Midlife Reinvention podcast. I hope you're doing really well, my friend, and enjoying a beautiful start to August. This mini episode today is one that I believe will resonate with many of you, as it is a topic which the majority of people who come to me deal with. That is, why do you feel stuck and unfulfilled in your career and life right now? And why do you lack the motivation to change? One of the biggest reasons I started this podcast and became a coach is because I felt the same way too. And I did find a way out of it. And I want to share how you can become unstuck too. So let's talk about the first thing. Why do you feel stuck? When we're in a long-term career or a long-term relationship, or even being suffering from a long-term illness, for example, we often feel stuck because this thing has been happening to us for such a long time, and we are unhappy about it. When I was in a long-term career in my past in the pharmaceutical industry, in the beginning, it was exciting and rewarding and fulfilling because I was constantly growing and learning, and the positive energy and momentum was building. And then I began to feel stuck. I began to feel like there was something missing, and I no longer felt the same enthusiasm for that when I was in my 30s, even in my 40s. But why did that happen? It wasn't the fault of my work. That had remained the same. It was me who had changed. And that's what we often do when we feel unrest. We blame the situation. We blame the job. We blame the boss, the spouse, the illness, or whatever it is around us. And then we get into this negative spiral of feeling worse and worse and worse. When I realized, however, that it was not my work, it was not my boss that was making me feel stuck, it was me. That's when I realized everything changed. You see, my friend, and as Abraham Hicks explains in the law of attraction, it is not possible to stand still or be stuck because energy and therefore life is always in motion. Things are always changing. As Hicks says, and I quote, the reason you may feel as if you are stuck is because while you are continuing to think the same thoughts, things are changing, but they are changing to the same things over and over. If you want things to change to different things, you must think different thoughts. And that simply requires finding unfamiliar ways of approaching familiar subjects. So, what does that mean? Simply, we must change our thoughts if we feel stuck. What are you thinking about right now, right at this very moment? Perhaps you're thinking something like this, and it may go something like this. I hate this job. I can't do this anymore. I wish I was doing something else, but I don't know if I can do anything else because I've been doing this for so long. And then what will people think if I leave? I won't be able to make as much money if I leave. I don't think I'm qualified enough to do anything else. It's going to be really hard. So I think I'll just stay. Maybe it will get better if I stay a bit longer because Lisa won't be my boss anymore and things will change. And maybe I'll get the promotion I want and things will get better. Yes, that's it. I'll wait for that to happen. So I'll stay where I am. Does this resonate with you? This is an example of a train of thought that keeps us stuck, my friend. One of the biggest things that I have learned in the last few years is this, and it is again from Abraham Hicks. Beliefs are just thoughts that we continue to think. Let me repeat this, it's so important. Beliefs are just thoughts we continue to think. Do you think you are stuck? Then you will be. Do you think there is no way out? Then there is no way out. If we continue to think these same thoughts over and over again, they become beliefs, and then we are truly stuck. What instead if we thought a different thought? What if we think, the current situation I'm in, but I have the power to change it? Doesn't that feel better? How about this? I am qualified enough to do something else. I started this job with no experience, and look how far I've come. It is possible for me to try something new. Doesn't that have a different energetic feeling in it? The moment you catch yourself going down the spiral of negative thoughts, catch yourself. Turn that thought into a different thought that may make you feel slightly better. Once you think a slightly better thought, more slightly better thoughts will come to you until you are like, wow, yes, I can do this. And then what happens? You only begin to see opportunities in front of you. You release all this anabolic or positive energy, which allows people, things, and circumstances to flow to you. But you have to be able to see these opportunities first. I'm not saying that all you have to do is change your thought and voila, everything will be fixed in a second. This takes time. You have to first acknowledge that this thought is recurring, that inner critic telling you that you're not good enough or that you're not qualified enough to do anything else. The more you think those negative thoughts, the more they become your beliefs. But guess what? They are not true. So the first step then to getting unstuck is to change your thought process. Acknowledge that the thought is there. Ask yourself, why is it here? Is it helping me or hurting me? And then change the thought to a positive one. So, what do we do next? The next step is to pay attention to our feelings. Acknowledge that with every thought comes a feeling. Are you thinking that you're not good enough? How does that make you feel? Probably sad or confused or not confident in yourself. If you're feeling boredom or lethargy or lack of motivation, those feelings are telling you something. Pay attention to them. How can you feel better? By having better feeling thoughts to begin with. An empty feeling is telling you something important. I had that empty feeling, my friend. I could have blamed my circumstances, which I did for a long time, my work, my state of menopause, my long term relationship, which was beginning to languish. I ignored this empty feeling for a long time, thinking it would go away if I changed circumstances. But that empty feeling did not go away until I understood the real source of it. The analogy is like when the fuel gauge on your vehicle indicates that the tank is empty. You don't criticize the indicator. You receive the information that something is wrong. And so what do? You add more fuel to your tank. In the same way, your negative emotions are an indicator to you that something is off. And if anything is going to change, it begins with you. You have to add fuel or energy to your tank. So, how do you do that? How do you change that feeling of stuckness to feelings of motivation? The next major step is action. All of our thoughts lead to emotions, which lead to action. If we have a thought of being a victim, the feeling associated with that is apathy, and the action or result of this is lethargy. We remain the same. In my coaching training, this is the lowest level of energy, or level 1 catabolic energy. If, however, we instead have a core thought of, let's say, responsibility, taking responsibility for where we are rather than being a victim, the core feeling then becomes of forgiveness. You will begin to forgive yourself and not blame yourself. And the result will be to come up with solutions to move yourself out of this and take responsibility for your actions. Do you see how it works? Thoughts lead to feelings, which lead to actions or results. If you want to change your circumstances, if you want to become unstuck, you have to start with your thoughts. You have to pay attention to how you feel, and then you will have to take action. And what kind of action do you take? It can be small daily actions which can shift your energy from that of catabolic or draining energy to anabolic or positive, building up energy. People often come to me and say that they can't possibly change their job because of their financial constraints or other limitations, which is completely understandable. What I say to these women is you don't have to drop everything and leave your job all at once and start completely if that's what you want to do. You can start small. If there's an inkling that you want to pursue a different path, start taking action while you're working if you need to. Start networking, learning about your possible new career path, interviewing others. Start thinking about what it is you really want to do. That will begin the positive momentum forward. You don't have to give up everything, I always say. You only have to gain what is already inside of you. You can start a side hustle, for example. See where that leads you. Does it feel good to do that? Do opportunities come to you as a result? If so, follow them. But taking even small steps is crucial. You can start with daily routines like meditating or journaling or yoga or walking in nature or exercising or meeting new people or having new conversations. All these actions will start to fuel that tank in you to propel you forward. I don't believe that you can just think things into existence. I believe and have firsthand experience from my life and from countless women that I've coached that it does start with your thoughts. But your thoughts lead to your emotions. So pay attention to how you're feeling because that is a direct indicator that something may be off. Thoughts and feelings lead to action. If you do not take action, my friend, your circumstances will not change. If the action is seeking help, whether that's through a coach or seeking out communities or just researching your new path on your own, take the action because it will get you out of that negative spiral you have found yourself in. Momentum can build in a negative way or in a positive way. Which way do you choose? It is ultimately your choice. You are the creator of your own reality, and by taking 3 steps to get unstuck, you will be motivated and see real change in your life. So, number 1, change your thoughts. Number 2, pay attention to your feelings. And number 3, take action. I never thought I'd go from where I felt very stuck and lacked motivation in my life 5 years ago to today, when I honestly am energized and motivated every single day. Why? Because I changed my thoughts and paid attention to my feelings. If something doesn't feel good, I won't do it. If something feels right, I will do it. But I don't leave it up to other people to do the work. When you open up positive energy in your life, you will see more and more opportunities come your way. It will feel uncanny at first, but the difference is those opportunities always existed. Now you have the ability to actually see them, where before maybe you could not see those opportunities. So, are you ready to be the creator of your own reality? If you need help along the way, reach out to me. I am always here for you. I offer one-on-one coaching, and I have a self-directed online course called It's My Time Now to guide you through this process. I'm also gauging interest in a group coaching program, which will begin this fall for a small group of like-minded women. In this program, you will receive all of my tools and exercises via my online course, and we'll meet weekly for 12 weeks in a live group coaching call to discuss. If you're interested, please reach out to me at kavita@itsmytimenowcoaching.com, and we can discuss which option is best for you. Again, reach out to me at kavita@itsmytimenowcoaching.com, and let's have a discussion about where you are and where you'd like to be. And if you enjoyed this podcast, please do vote for me, as I'm a nominee for the Women in Podcasting Awards, which I'm very pleased to be nominated for. Please go to womeninpodcasting.net, and under the over 50 category, you can vote for the Midlife Reinvention podcast. I really appreciate your continued support and encouragement so very much. Remember, your thoughts lead to your emotions, which lead to action. It's that simple, and it works. With all my love, until next time, stay well and stay safe.